Good morning. My name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach, a life coach, and author, and the host of this show, the Take Your Life Back Today radio show. You can also see a video version if you go to YouTube and just type in the search bar Ralf Friedrichs or Take Your Life Back Today show. Good morning, Sunday morning. With so many self-help tools and research aimed at helping us be more joyful, it's pretty obvious that the pursuit of happiness is vague. But what's the best way to get there? Well, let's figure that out. The Dalai Lama once said, if you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion. His remarks capture a simple truth. Despite popular belief, happiness depends solely on you. The way you to achieve it, it may not lie just within yourself, but within the relationships and interactions with other people around you daily. When we have feelings of caring or love for other people, we feel better. Think about that. We feel better when we love and help others. We all think we want to be loved, but what actually feels good to us is feeling loving, and part of what makes us feel more love for other people is doing kind, compassionate things for them. And not just once, but this should be done on a daily basis. The good news is, if we don't normally identify as someone who is overly empathetic, studies show it's a habit that can be cultivated. So how can you tell if you are or not? Well, I'm going to tell you, speak about 8 signs you're truly a compassionate person. You will find commonalities with other people. Compassionate people know what it's like to be down on their luck, and they keep those experiences in mind to develop a more empathetic nature, whether through volunteering or just simply networking. Compassionate people are very outward focused because they think and feel about other people and their troubles. Firestone one time said they have the ability to feel others' feelings, so they're very socially connected. And she's a psychologist. And it turns out there's a science behind what we feel, why we feel compassion towards people who have been in the same boat. In one small study, researchers found that human sense of compassion actually increases when there is a common connection with the other person. What these results suggest is that the compassion we feel for others is not solely a function of what befalls them. If our minds draw an association between a victim and ourselves, even a relatively trivial one, the compassion we feel for his or her suffering is amplified greatly. Another thing is you don't put emphasis on money. Never do that. If money doesn't buy happiness, then according to the studies from the University of California, Berkeley, it doesn't buy compassion either. In one study, researchers found that as someone grew in the social class, his or her compassion for others declined. The findings support previous research that showed that a higher social class also negatively influences a person's ability to pay attention in interactions with other people. Scientific American reported these studies. You act on your empathy. The same Firestone, that doctor, says a major component of compassion is giving back when in the smallest ways. When we take actions that we are caring and loving, we feel more love in return. This is why compassionate people act on their kindness, whether it's through volunteering or just being a shoulder to lean on. And overall, there's much happier times for them. If you're going after happiness, you don't get as happy as you would like. But you'll be much happier when you're generous. A hedonistic way of pursuing happiness really doesn't work for most people, but compassionate actions do. So you're kind to yourself. Self-compassion is actually really the key to becoming a more compassionate person overall. It's hard to feel for other people something we don't feel for ourselves. Put yourself in their shoes every once in a while. Practicing self-love, which is a little different than self-esteem. It's also crucial to beating bad habits and other aspects of your lives. We often think the way to change bad behaviors is to beat ourselves up. But self-compassion is actually the first step in changing any behavior you want to change. And there's science to back it up. According to the study from University of California, Berkeley, those who practice self-compassion are more motivated to improve themselves and go for their goals that lie ahead and they have in the back of their mind. You teach others. Compassionate people don't want to just keep their gifts to themselves. They want to impart their knowledge into other people. As motivational speaker and author Gene Groover notes, it's the desire that lies in the root of the empathetic habits. True compassion exists when you give your strength, guidance, and wisdom to empower another so you can see who you really are and live a greater capacity and expect nothing in return. True grace exists when teachers realize that the gift was really theirs. To be able to teach another person is the most compassionate thing to do. A compassionate person, you're very mindful when you're exercising compassion. You're putting yourself in the moment. Compassionate people aren't listening and checking their smartphones at the same time they're in the present other people, offering their empathetic responses to the story right in front of them on their phone and just saying, yeah. This awareness is crucial to compassion because it allows you to really focus on others rather than your own reflections. Mindfulness allows us to develop a different relationship to our feelings. Feelings or thoughts may come up, but in mindfulness, we can sort of see them as clouds floating by. Not getting caught up in our thoughts is a really helpful thing. You are high emotional intelligence as a compassionate person. Individuals who are tapped into their own compassion also seem to be tapped into their own emotions. It's partly being able to see what's going on in your mind and other people's minds. I think when we can do what we have more compassion towards other people, that is the crucial stage. When you're emotionally intelligent, you also have a greater sense of morality, and you are genuinely trying to help others, which are all crucial components of empathy. Compassionate people understand that our other people have a sovereign mind that sees the world differently than you do, and one isn't right and one isn't wrong. Compassionate person, you express gratitude at all times, doing things that light us up and make us feel good. People think of that as being selfish, but often that leads us to better behavior towards other people. One way to do this is to count the positives, not the positives just in your life, but the positives in other people's lives. Whether or not you're committed a lot of compassionate acts in your life, chances are you've been on the receiving end at least once or twice. Empathetic individuals not only acknowledge those acts of kindness done unto them, they actively express gratitude for them, not just once, but all the time. Just thinking about our gratitude for other people makes us feel happy on a daily basis. And it's slowing down and expressing those types of things that makes us more caring and more loving. A compassionate person is one that really cares. Call me at 844-405-HELP. Together, we can help each other take our lives. Be good to yourselves and always be good to each other. And remember, a simple smile can change your neighbor's life, and it can change your life. And remember, may God always bless you. John 3:16. For God gave his only son to you for our sins to make us live a better life. Let God guide and direct you daily. And remember, always love